Welcome everyone. Today I will explain the plot of a 2012 film called The Three Stooges. As the movie begins, we see the children of Sisters of Mercy Orphanage playing soccer in front of the yard with a soda can. Just then, Sister Mary Mengel, the orphanage's meanest nun, arrives and orders everyone to go inside and do the chores. The kids beg her to let them play for a little longer, but she refuses. Then, in an attempt to persuade her, they sing "Everybody is Special," but she tells them to shut up and get to work. After a while, a car rushes by, dumping a bag at the orphanage's front door. When Sister Mary Mengel opens the bag, she is punched in the face. Hearing her groan, another nun comes outside and discovers 3 adorable babies, Mo, Larry, and Curly. Receiving 3 babies unexpectedly, she is shocked and calls Mother Superior to come to look at the sight. All of the nuns gather around as they are thrilled to see the babies. Everyone is eager to take care of them, and Mother Superior assures them that everyone will get a turn. Ironically, the trio shortly begins wreaking havoc at the orphanage, leaving the sisters frustrated. Everyone tries to stay as far away from them as possible because the boys pull their stupid and dangerous stunts all the time. For instance, they perform a dental surgery scenario on Sister Mary Mengel, who is lying down due to a toothache. Regardless of their mischief, Mother Superior always treats them gently. 10 years later, when a rich couple comes to adopt, the desperate nuns persuade Mother Superior to present the 3 boys to them, pretending only they are available for adoption. At first, she strongly opposes the idea, but when Sister Mary Mengel and the other sisters announce their intention to leave the orphanage because it is too dangerous to be around the boys, Mother Superior finally agrees to it. After a while, the Harter couple arrives at the orphanage. Mo, Larry, and Curly are introduced to them. Each boy attempts to persuade the couple to pick him up. When Teddy, a smaller boy, walks in asking for milk, they are compelled to include him in the line. After a brief discussion, the couple chooses Mo. Then the boys have their own farewell conversation, and Mo keeps Larry and Curly's nose hair with him as a keepsake. On the way, the Harters tell Mo it's his birthday and ask what he would like as a present. He replies that he is okay with the lollipop. But when Mr. Harter urges him to ask for what his heart desires, he asks to bring Larry and Curly with him. Unable to fulfill his demand, they return him to the orphanage and take Teddy instead. When his 2 friends ask why he is back, he lies and tells them that he returned because the Harters were going to make him do chores. 25 years later, in the present, the trio is still living at the orphanage. They work as maintenance men, and they are supposed to fix the bell on the roof. Despite working all morning, they are unable to progress, so Sister Mary Mengel decides to check on them. She discovers a recording of working sounds playing while the boys are sleeping. She then immediately orders them to get to work. Next, Monsignor Ratliff arrives to give an important message. After he tells Mother Superior that the orphanage is going to close within a month, she sends Sister Mary Mengel to get the trio. However, she is injured by the bell on the roof, as Larry misreads the "Do Not Remove" tag on it as "Donut Remover" and removes it. They end up hurting her more as they try to help her. Meanwhile, Monsignor Ratliff is putting up the "For Sale" sign. He falls on top of the nuns when the boys accidentally shove the ladder he has climbed on. Thinking that he is harassing the sisters, Mo, Larry, and Curly attack him until Mother Superior finally stops them. She explains why he has come and informs everyone that the orphanage will be closing in a month due to the economic downturn and some unforeseen expenses. Monsignor Ratliff informs that the sisters will be distributed throughout the diocese and the children will be sent to foster homes. Hearing this, Murph, a sick young girl, says she will not go to a foster home and instead prefers adoption. When they ask if there is any way they can save the orphanage, Monsignor Ratliff informs them they need to raise $830,000 in 30 days. Mo, Larry, and Curly volunteer to manage the money somehow by the end of the month. Some of the nuns are worried about the trio because they don't know anyone else besides nuns and children. However, Mother Superior is hopeful about it. She gives them some money to help them get by for the first few days. Everyone bids them farewell, and the boys depart in their unique manner, being towed by a truck. On the other side of the story, we are introduced to a lady named Lydia. She is planning to kill her husband so she can inherit his property and can be with a lover, Mac, who is his best pal. She finds Mo, Larry, and Curly, who are searching for work that will pay them $830,000. Considering them to be perfect people for her plan, she approaches them and offers to pay the money they need if they kill her husband. The boys refuse her offer as they cannot kill people, but Mac and Lydia convince them. Mac pretends to be Lydia's husband before the boys and tells them that he is suffering from an incurable disease and he wishes to die to end the pain. He says he prefers to leave the world on his own terms and requests them to take the offer. Mo is hesitant because it is illegal, but when they realize they're offering the same exact amount of money for it, they change their minds. Later, Mac elaborates on the plan. He wants them to sneak into their bedroom in the middle of the night and smother him while he is sleeping. He warns them not to turn the lights on, as he wants it to be a surprise. Hearing this, the boys trick them and push him in front of a bus. Lydia is traumatized. While the trio celebrates the success, she becomes angry at them, gets in the car and drives home. But when she reaches home, she is startled to find the boys there who demand their payment. Lydia learns that Mac was in an accident and is now in the hospital. She then kicks the trio out of her house because their deal required them to kill the husband in order to be paid. The boys then decide to murder Mac in the hospital. The visiting hours have ended by the time they arrive at the hospital. Mo has an idea, so they sneak into the staff lounge and disguise themselves as staff members, with Larry as a doctor and Mo and Curly as nurses. Curly discovers Mac's room number and they are set to go, but they are soon recognized by the counter lady and chased after. They hide in a room where a senior nurse asks them to change the baby's diapers. Trying to blend into the situation, they end up creating havoc, as they always do. Finally, they reach room 386 and find Mac there. Hearing some ruckus, Mac wakes up and notices them while they're distracted by the TV report. He tries to hide, but they light dynamite and blast it on him. They then try to smother him, but he stops them by saying the accident cured him. Next, they are chased by 2 policemen throughout the hospital, and ultimately, they jump off the roof using a fire hose. Funnily, they fall down on Teddy, the kid who was picked by the Harders 35 years ago. Teddy invites them to crash at his place, but Mo refuses his offer. After he leaves, Larry and Curly blame Mo for blowing off the opportunity, but soon, he comes up with a new plan. All of a sudden, they decide to start farming with the money Mother Superior gave them. Meanwhile, Teddy is revealed to be Lydia's actual husband. He is glad to have run into Mo, Larry, and Curly. He shows the picture to Lydia and tells her he's planning to invite them to their anniversary party. On the other hand, the trio is trying to sell farm-raised salmon on a golf range, but they're chased by the same police officers from the hospital, so they hide in an old building. Inside, Larry and Curly scold Mo for rejecting Teddy's invitation and his father's attempt to adopt him years ago. Larry then says they could have gotten the money to save the orphanage from him, but he messed it all up because he was too lazy to do chores. Hurt from his words, Mo tells them to leave, saying he is sick and tired of them. Larry and Curly leave the building, while Mo remains there. It is then revealed that they were on stage in front of an audition crew. Impressed, they select Mo as a new cast for a reality show called Jersey Show as Dynamo. Next, Larry and Curly seem to be getting along well without Mo. However, they begin to worry about him and start searching for him. They think he went back to the orphanage and go there. There, they find Murph severely ill in bed, while other kids are getting moved out. Sister Mary Mengel tells them that the orphanage doesn't have any medical insurance because of the trio's several accidents over the years, and that $830,000 is needed in order to cover the medical bills accumulated in all those years. They are devastated to know that they are responsible for the orphanage closing down. They then go to see Teddy in his office, but he is not there, as he is busy planning his anniversary party. But they meet Mr. Harder instead and talk about what has happened with the orphanage. The boys ask him to give them work and that they are not lazy like Mo. Mr. Harder then reveals that Mo wanted him to adopt all 3 of them, which he couldn't, so he left him back at the orphanage. The guys then find a picture of Teddy, Harder, Lydia, and Mac, and they realize that Teddy is the husband that Lydia wanted to murder. In the meantime, Mo is getting popular on Jersey Shore by creating havoc by slapping, eye-poking, and head-bopping the cast of the show. The cast members ask the producer to kick him out of the show, or they will sue him, but the producer refuses, as Mo is garnering a high rating for the show. Feeling bad for rebuking Mo, Larry and Curly go to the Jersey Shore set and meet him there. They reconcile and reveal the truth about Lydia and her plan to him. Next, they crash Teddy and Lydia's anniversary party as balloon men. Inside, Curly gives all the balloons to a little girl who floats up in the air. The trio again causes havoc at the party, and Lydia notices them. Trying to help the little girl, Mo accidentally shoots a gun and pops some balloons. She falls on the anniversary cake, which destroys it. The trio is then chased by angry Lydia and Mac into Teddy's room, where they find him drowsy. Mac pulls a gun out, but Mr. Harder stops him. Teddy gets upset about being betrayed by his friend, but Mac confesses it was Lydia's plan. In an interesting turn of events, Mr. Harder exposes he was the mastermind behind all of this. He reveals that he wanted to kill Teddy because his wife left all the money to Teddy when she passed away. As they don't want to ruin the party, they take the boys out for a ride. As Nippy, Curly's rat, terrifies Lydia, the car crashes into a lake. However, they manage to escape when Mo ignites Curly's fart with some waterproof safety matches to blow out the windows. When they get back to the land, Harder, Mac, and Lydia are arrested. The trio requests Teddy for the money they need for the orphanage, but he declines, saying he can't help the orphanage that gave him to the father who tried to kill him. A couple of months later, the trio returns to the abandoned orphanage. They feel bad for failing to save it, but they hear kids laughing. They then discover a brand new orphanage with a swimming pool, a tennis court, and a basketball court. Soon they learn that the money came from the Jersey Shore producer, who hires the trio for a new reality show, Nuns vs. Nitwits. After a while, we see Murph has recovered. Teddy and his new fiancée Ling adopt Murph, along with Peezer and his brother Weezer. As the orphanage celebrates the adoption, Curly knocks Sister Mary Mangle into the pool. We then see the trio run away riding the mules as the movie ends.